I hope everyone has been working on their playbook and their commitment to it, which is what we talked about yesterday. Today, we're talking about a plan B. And Wallace does great with plan Bs. I want to hear your strategy for those.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to kind of relate this back to football and why this is one of our points is some of the best coaches out there in the NFL. And they know at halftime if they're behind a certain score that they've got a play that they're going to come out. It might be risky. It might be hard. Injury might be there. Could go really wrong. Yet at the end of the day, if that play happens, it will put them back in alignment of hitting their goals, which is ultimately to win the game, right? So what about in your business? Having a plan B? I don't know about you, Whitney, yet there's been plenty of times that I started out my day. I have my daily standard. So yesterday when we talked about having your playbook, you should have a daily standard in your playbook that shows you the actions you should take on a daily basis and what your goals are, right? So it might be having 20 conversations a day and setting 2 appointments. Okay, let's be real. Whether it's a personal reason, a family reason, or just, your deals went crazy that day, it doesn't always seem to happen. And I think that's a majority vote there, right? It seems that sometimes the day can get away from us.
Right? Oh, something will be on fire, not literally, but yes. And it blows everything up, things that you didn't expect, and you've gotten completely off track. So, but if you're committed to that playbook, right, and you're going to do it, then what do you do at 4:30 in the afternoon when it hasn't gotten done?
That's right.
What do you do, Wallace?
Exactly. So it shouldn't be something that you're having to come up with on the spot. You should already have put in place that at 4:30, 5 o'clock, when the end of the day is getting here and you're off track for your goals, you automatically go into your plan B, which is, it might be messaging 20 people on Facebook. It might be calling 10 for sale by owners and having conversations with them. It might be, we're knocking your neighborhood and chatting about some of the properties that are listed and seeing if they maybe know some buyers, right? There's a lot of things that can be done for your plan B. It's not meant to be a punishment, may not be as fun, yet it's meant to get you back in alignment for your goals, because one day you don't hit it, and then 2 days and 3 days, it creeps up on you. Okay. So what about at the 15th of the month, right? So by the way, they call that protocol the 5 o'clock protocol, which meaning at the end of the day, you hadn't got there. So what about the 15th of the month protocol? So for example,
that's my favorite, because those are long-term goals. The daily will help get you to your long-term goals, but especially if you're working with a team and the team hasn't reached their goals by the middle of the month, boom. It's not just your action, it's everybody's, right?
No, you're completely right on that. And so at the 15th of the month, let's say you're supposed to have 20 appointments set for the month, and the 15th of the month rolls around and you're only at 5. What's likely going to happen for the next half of the month? You may schedule 10, yet that's only going to have you at 15. How many months are you willing to go by and let failure, be an option? How many months are you willing to go by and just continually not hit your goal? Because you've got big goals for the year. You've got to make it happen, right? So the 15th of the month is the same thing. You have a protocol put in place that I'm going to spend my weekend, instead of being around my family, going, volunteer here or be part of a community event and have X amount of conversations, or be calling my friends and family on the weekends just to chat and see if they know anyone that's maybe mentioned looking to sell, so you can help with your buyers, right? There's a lot of things that can be done to put yourself back in alignment, because now you don't just need 10 for the rest of the month. If your goal is 20, you actually need 15. So you've got a lot of work to do to get you back in alignment, and very important. So anyway, get your plan B put in place, get it established. I'd love to hear your feedback on what some of your plan Bs are, and let's share some wins. If you got a plan B currently that works well for you, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. And look, I'll share a plan B that worked with me really well one time. And if you don't ever do pop-up Zooms, do them. So I would share an ideas on the 15th of the month. If you haven't hit your goals, do a pop-up Zoom 3 days later, right? The idea of pop-up is you give them a little bit of time, but not much. I wouldn't do it that morning sometimes for something as big as first-time homebuyer programs, but do it, set it, make it a Zoom appointment, and you just will hopefully get way more appointments that way.
I love it.
That worked for me with recruiting. Yeah. We were doing a cram session for students, and we hadn't met a recruiting goal. And so I did a pop-up. It was better attended than the one we had told people about the previous month. 3 weeks in advance. Isn't that crazy? So sometimes great things happen, and some people are very spur of the moment, and sometimes it adds some immediacy and importance to it. Like, oh my gosh, this is coming up. This is special. Got to be there.
Yeah. And also just a lot of times we don't, agents don't time block like they should. So they hear about it, they forget. And so it reminds them when it's happening, a day or two before. It can make a difference, or even that same day. So anyway, Whitney, I'm looking forward to talking on point number 4 tomorrow. And, we can actually dive deeper. We can do another video on some of these plan Bs. After we hear from you, we can actually go in and give some examples and go a little further. So anyway, thanks, Whitney.
Tomorrow's all about having a great coach, right? And big team, right?
Yeah. Assembling your team, having a great coach, and assembling great vendor lists, right? So perfect. All right. See you guys tomorrow.
See you right tomorrow. Bye, Lois.